Hello everybody. So I will present recent work with Matthias Rousset, Gabriel Stolz, and Wayne Jones on sampling measures supported on submanifolds. So we are given a submanifold M of Rd as a zero-level set of a function xi, which is a smooth function from Rd to Rm. So it's a codimension M manifold. And a probability measure nu defined on M. So it's exponential minus V of Q, a potential V, times the Lebesgue measure on M. So we would like to compute averages with respect to nu, and so to sample the probability measure nu. So this arises in many contexts, like in computational statistical physics, for example. So I will start by presenting the constraint Langevin dynamics and why you need to introduce a reverse projection check in order to make it really reversible. And then I will explain recent generalization on this reverse projection check. So in order to go to Langevin dynamics, one needs to go to phase space, namely to introduce a velocity p. And so we work here in the cotangent plane, sigma t star n in qp. So the mass is identity in all what I'm saying, to make it simple. So velocity and moment are the same. And then h of qp is the Hamiltonian. So it's the potential v of q that we introduced before, plus the kinetic energy p squared over 2. And then, if you look at this measure mu, it's obvious that it's actually a product measure. It's a measure nu that we had before, okay, times a kinetic, the measure, a Gaussian measure in the probability p, in the momenta p, which is given by this formula. So if one is able to sample mu by just looking at the marginal q, one is able to actually sample mu. So how to sample mu? One idea is to use the constraint Langevin dynamics, which is just the Langevin dynamics. So derivative of moment of position is velocity, derivative of velocity is minus grad v qt, and then you have the friction and then the fluctuation. And then you add here a constraint, constraining force, which is along the normal to the manifold in order to force the system to Q to live on the manifold, so that psi of Q is equal to 0. So this is a well-defined dynamics, which indeed is reversible up to momentum reversal with respect to the measure mu. And it's ergodic under some assumptions. So to discretize this, you can see it as a composition of two building blocks, one which is a constraint Hamiltonian dynamics, which is written here, and the other one, which is the Ornstein-Uhlenbeck process, so where the position is fixed and the velocity is changed only in the tangent. Okay. So let's first discretize the Ornstein-Uhlenbeck part. So this can be done actually without introducing any error in the measure, in the target measure, by using just a midpoint Euler rule here. So the position Q is fixed again. So Qn is sent to Qn, and Pn is sent to Pn plus 1 according to this dynamics. And this is exact. Okay. And now the difficult part is to discretize the Hamiltonian, the constraint Hamiltonian dynamics. So this is done typically using Rattle, which is a version of Verlet dynamics, taking into account the constraints. So the difficult part here is that you change the velocity p and you define the q with this new velocity p, and you have here a Lagrange multiplier lambda n plus 1/2, which is implicitly defined by this constraint that psi of qn plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is called the Rattle dynamics, and I will denote it by psi delta t Rattle in the following. So by composing these two building blocks, so half step of Ornstein-Uhlenbeck, one step of Rattle, and half a step of Ornstein-Uhlenbeck, one obtain a consistent discretization of Langevin. Of course, there is a bias. Okay, I mean the inherent measure of this is not exactly nu. Okay, it's only nu in the delta t goes to 0 limit. So how to remove the bias? The natural idea is to use Metropolis Hastings. Okay, so the idea is to consider the following dynamics. So you compose psi delta t Rattle by the momentum reversal. So you start from a QP, you do Rattle, and then you reverse momentum. And then you can check that this building block, this psi delta t, is an involution, okay, and is a symplectic map. So it preserves the Liouville measure sigma t star n. At least for delta t small enough, this is true by using implicit function theorem. And so with these two properties, you can check that the metropolis Hastings rejection probability is well defined. It's just exponential minus the difference of the Hamiltonian between the ending point and the starting point. And thus you can metropolize the algorithm I presented before to get a zero bias. So this is called the constrained generalized hybrid Monte Carlo algorithm. So let's go through it. So you have half state of Rorschach-Uhlenbeck again. Then you have a proposal, no, which is given by Rattle plus momentum reversal. And you accept reject with this probability. When you accept, you would like to continue the dynamics. So you just again reverse momenta, which is written here, and then again half a step of Rorschach-Uhlenbeck. And so for delta t small enough, this is reversible up to momentum reversal. Okay. What is the problem? The problem is that I've said that it's only true for delta t small enough. Okay, so it may happen that psi delta t is not well defined in the sense that when you go forward, you are not able to project back on the manifold. And even if it's well defined, it's maybe not true that you can actually go back because maybe the step backward is not well defined, or if it's well defined, it doesn't go back to the initial point. Like here, I start from a q, a velocity p, I go there. Okay, this is an unconstrained move. I project back. Okay, and when I want to go back, you see that if I project on the closest point on the submanifold, I will not end up to q, but to this q double prime. So that is a problem here. So how to solve this problem? This is where the reverse projection check comes into the picture. So the idea is that, so let me rewrite here the Rattle dynamics, okay? So let us introduce how the Lagrange multiplier is implemented in practice. So in red here, there is an unconstrained move from Qn with a velocity Pn. And then you have to project back, and this is done in practice by, we can encode it by a Lagrange multiplier function with two, the initial point and the unconstrained move will project it back on the manifold. So this is a property you need on this lambda. Q tilde, which is unconstrained move, plus grad c lambda q tilde is back to n. Okay. What do we need on lambda in order for the algorithm to be well defined? So in practice, the lambda is only locally well defined in the sense that it will be only defined for some q tildes, okay? And so it will be defined only for some p's on the starting point. And likewise, the psi delta t, which is a composition of the Rattle with the momentum reversal, is only defined on this set A. So locally, okay, you can show that this psi delta t is satisfied what we said before. So it's a time reversible, and it preserves the phase space. But if we want to go to something global, what should be done? But what should be done is this idea that if you are at a point where the Rattle is well defined and you can go back, so psi delta t is also well defined, and you can go back to the initial point, then you apply psi delta t. Otherwise, you don't move. Okay. So what you can show is that this B is not trivial. I mean, it's not empty. And this psi delta t rev, consequently, is globally well defined. So it's not only local now. And it preserves globally the Liouville measure, and it satisfies, and it's in the evolution. Okay? That's and so in the algorithm I've presented before, if you replace the Rattle by this psi delta t rev, you end up with an algorithm which is globally well defined and which has mu as an invariant measure. So there are many numerical parameters you can play with in this algorithm, the potential V, the number of steps of the Rattle that you use, etc. I refer to the preprint if you want to learn more about that. I would like to end up with an idea we had recently about how to go beyond the reverse projection check. And the idea is that for some manifold, like algebraic manifolds, you may have many possible projections. Okay, so lambda is now a set-valued map. Okay, you don't have only one Lagrange multipliers, but many. And so how to use that? The idea is that you can, to each of the possible projections, you can associate a probability. Okay, so here it's pi I. And using this pi I, you can actually generalize the algorithm I presented before on by introducing these probabilities of the different possible projections in the metropolis Hastings ratio, you end up with an algorithm which can use this additional global feature, which is that many possible projections. And so again, you can show that it leads to a Markov chain Monte Carlo algorithm, which admits mu as an invariant measure. And it appears that numerically, this is very useful because you can jump from one connected component to another one, for example, of the manifold, or from one boundary to another one. And this appears to be very useful in practice, at least in some examples we looked at. So these are a few references, and in particular, this third paper, if you want to learn more about this multiple projection MCMC algorithm on some manifold. I thank you for your attention.